Uh, I greet my views with another liberal message of in-depth political analysis from such distinguished psychologists like me, Mr. Armenak Nouridjanian. And actually, I want to devote this broadcasting to the urgent matter of financial crisis that brought down U.S. economy and caused deepest recession in the American society. You see, the roots of this financial crisis are it's the loss of trust towards American stocks, bonds, and real estate values. Real values were dumped. American stocks and bonds were dumped by neo-Nazis, neo-fascists. I recall that Wall Street Journal called American stocks and bonds junk. And those are neo-fascists. They just let down stocks and bonds in order to steal our money, because being paid and bribed by corrupt, rich, wealthy people who didn't want to play by the rules, I want to commit crimes, bribe journalists, and terrorize values in order to bring down stock prices, real estate prices, in order to not to pay the dues and steal our land money, which we, American investors, lend to them, corporate world. But I still believe that financial crisis is caused by right-wing extremist politics of American ex-president Bush, Republican villain who wanted to cut down taxes to rich tax evaders, instead which immigrated to Switzerland along with their capitals and placed 52,000 of American wealthy individuals placed their savings which were skimmed from American business, placed into USB Swiss bank, and probably immigrated there to Switzerland. So what I'm saying that is I believe that U.S. Justice Department should go aggressively after those tax evaders and confiscate every single dollar of their stolen tax money, because those wealthy people are just ripped off poor workers, and I think that they can get away with it. I hope under U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder and Obama Democratic administration, U.S. Department of Justice will be able to collect taxes, and U.S. Department of Treasury will be able to raid USB Swiss bank right over there in Switzerland and take their assets like golden bullions or money, paper notes, because there is no other way to solve financial problem but use military force or police force against USB bank that stole money from American investors and get their money back. And I believe that also if we return back to use of military force in deciding financial conflicts, I need to mention that possible solution to Russian-Ukrainian gas conflict, which started by imperialist decision of corrupt KGB Prime Minister Vladimir Putin to start price war against Ukrainians by raising unit price of cubic meter of natural gas being sold by Russians to Ukrainians nation by about maybe $40–50 up. This caused actually breakdown in those deliveries, and because Ukraine government couldn't pay such increase in natural gas prices, it simply confiscated most of the natural gas which was coming through Ukrainian territory by the right of using some of it, and refused to let any more gas through its territory. In other words, Putin's government caused the deepest financial crisis in Russia as well by its imperialist political confrontation, seeking confrontation, and a very unfair gas price increase against Ukraine. Ukraine is a impoverished nation. If we pay Russians the amount of money they owe for 85 million cubic meters of stolen natural gas, and I wouldn't be able to find that much hard currency to pay for it. In the second, you know that Ukraine is impoverished post-communist country, whose government paying abject poverty wages to its citizens. Mostly, average salaries in Ukraine probably less than $150 a month, and therefore any attempt to raise natural gas prices against Ukraine will end up probably in loss of business with Ukraine. As the only way now Russian government led by nationalistic United Party President Medvedev can collect its money for 85 million cubic meters of natural gas stolen by Ukrainian government is going to war and taking over this Russian gas pipeline into its possession by seizing its control station by Russian military in order to make open that gas line to Russian gas and to and prevent any further theft of gas by Ukrainian Naftogaz organization. Because I believe that diplomacy is a mighty instrument of political pressure. So that if Russian diplomacy goes into offensive and demand and threatens Ukrainian government with going into war against Ukraine and seizing all those control stations of natural gas pipeline on Ukrainian territory by military force, Ukrainian probably government will back down and start paying at least whatever it can pay. So there's at least some of the money, because restoring the flow of hard currency into Russian banks, because otherwise Russian banks will stop receiving most of its hard currency, and Russian people will stop being able to buy bread and wheat and grain and metal in the West and other product commodities Russia simply doesn't have, and buy them in exchange of its selling natural gas to Western countries. So therefore Prime Minister put very reaction. He refused to raise wages to Russian bureaucracy, to Russian militiamen, to Russian military officers, to Russian judges and lawyers and advocates, and he actually, Russian Prime Minister Putin is former ex-KGB hardcore communist, who's Russian nationalist. In terms of considering Russian people, probably he considers them inferior to Western people and keeps them in extreme poverty in order to justify his racist views. Mostly I believe that racist views involved is based on the poverty and degradation and lack of capital in such colored nations like Africa or Latin America, because those countries are heavily hit by poverty, disease, and they don't have any capitals or infrastructure, social infrastructure or civilization that's equal to Western one, where mostly white people live. And I believe that the racist views are mostly have their base on this inequality or social inequality between Africa and Latin America and America, North America and Western Europe on the other side, which is prospering with abundance of capital and technological knowledge and technologies and civilization and upper level of civilization and social programs. Which I still believe that racism is human hated, and in spite of social injustice between Africa and North America, there will still be progressive outflux of capital and investment of capital in Africa in order to equalize situation.